Welcome. My name is Rham. Welcome to this YouTube channel. I'm posting every Monday and every Thursday, and welcome to today's class. So gathering your kit and let's come and meet on the mat right here in Virabhadrasana. We're going to start in Malasana child's pose. So widen the knees apart just a little bit so that the ribs will be resting on the front thighs and coming forward, bringing the forehead to the floor and extending the arms by the sides of the body and finding here our breath. Soft, smooth inhalations and soft, smooth exhalations. Feel the shoulders relaxing, the arms relaxing. Feel the palms of the hands pooling towards the earth. With every exhale, the face becoming more and more relaxed, the skin on the face melting away, melting down towards the ground. The buttocks also moving towards the ground. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. And then gently rolling up, bringing the knees together and placing the palms together in front of the chest, closing the eyelids. Keep with this process of consciously relaxing and releasing tension, relaxing and releasing the facial features, bringing softness, openness. And from this space, let's start our practice together with one arm. Inhale. And exhale, releasing and open the eyelids. All right, coming straight to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. We want to use our hands to grip the mat, the sides of the mat, so that the hands are turned open, which is going to help our arms to roll so that the eyes of the elbows are facing forward in our Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And we're going to keep our knees bent, purposefully bent. So placing the hands, getting ready, keeping the knees bent, and lifting the buttocks, lifting up. Pushing away from the hands, keep rolling the arms so the eyes of the elbows are facing forward. Now looking at your feet, lift the heels up nice and high as you can, so you're really pressing into the joints of the toes. Keep the knees bent and try to lift the buttocks up higher by pressing the shoulder blades into the upper back. Feel that armpit area opening. Keep spiraling the arms. See how the chest is opening. Breathing into that. And 3 and 2. Now we're going to straighten the legs, straighten the knees, keep the heels lifted. Push the front thighs back. Firm the roots of the thighs. Keep stretching the arms, pressing the shoulder blades into the back, pressing the chest open, pressing the back ribs in. And 2 and 1. Walking forward, feet spread the width of the mat, fingertips to the floor. The legs are straight. Bending the knees, coming to a squatting Uttanasana. Bring the chest inside the knees. Walk the hands forward. As much as you can, walk the hands forward. Keep the roots of the thighs firm. Pressing into the inner heels. Rolling the inner groins back. Keep walking the fingertips forward, stretching the arms. Stretching forward, roots of the thighs coming into the hip sockets, deepening. And now holding onto the elbows and pulling the elbow tips towards the ground. Squeeze the knees in towards the sides of the armpits. Keep rolling the inner groins back. And now straightening the legs Straightening the legs, firming the heels, roots of the thighs firm, gripping up, inner groins rolling back, pull the elbow tips down. And now again, bending the knees, coming into the squatting Uttanasana. As we bend, keep rolling the inner groins back. Keep sucking the roots of the thighs into the hip sockets. Pressing firmly into the inner heel. Pull the elbows down more. Pull and more. Keep pulling them down. And then pushing into the feet in order to straighten the legs as we suck the roots of the thighs up into the hip sockets. Firmly lifting them, pulling the elbow tips down. And our last squatting Uttanasana, bending the knees, coming down, down, lower, lower, rolling the inner groins back. Pull with the fingertips on the elbows to lengthen, to pull yourself through the inner knees. Squeeze the inner knees to the sides of the armpits, the sides of the chest. Keep pulling with the elbows. And 3, and 2, and 1. Relaxing the elbows apart and with our hands holding onto the sides of the mat and finding Adho Mukha Svanasana with straight legs but heels lifted as high as possible. Toes spread. Keep lifting the heels, pressing into the roots of the toes, igniting sensation, openness there. And now looking at the shins, push the shins back. Looking at the front thighs, push the front thighs back. Keep the arms straight, stretched, pushing away from the hands. Keep stretching the arms and pushing yourselves away from the hands. Check that the eyes of the elbows are still turned open to the sky. The back of the neck is long. Now find the sit bones and make them light, lifting them to the sky, lifting them up as we keep stretching the arms and pushing ourselves away from the hands. And 2, and 1. Walking forward, feet spread, the width of the mat. Fingertips to the floor, Uttanasana. Changing the cross of the elbows from the last time. Dropping the head down, the roots of the thighs firm. Coming to our squatting Uttanasana. Sitting back. Pressing into the inner heel. Widening the knees apart so you can get the chest through the knees. Rolling the inner groins back. And now coming even lower, 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 lower. That's it. Roots of the thighs coming into the hip sockets. Now squeeze the knees to the outside chest. Pull the elbow tips down. Keep lengthening, pulling the elbow tips down to bring the torso down. Keep squeezing the knees to the outer chest. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back up, straight legs. And immediately suck the roots of the thighs up into the hip sockets. Taking a breath, relaxing the face, and coming down again, beginning to squat, to sit back. Keep moving the heads of the femur bones into the hip sockets, deepening the groin as we come down, inner groins rolling back. Widen the knees apart so we can get the chest through. That's it. Now come even deeper, deeper, deeper. Try to make the thighs parallel to the floor. Pull with your hands to pull the elbows down. Now squeeze the outer chest with the legs. That's it. Squeeze. Roots of the thighs deepening and firm. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back up and finding Uttanasana with straight legs. Immediately roots of the thighs sucking into the hip sockets. Relax the face. Rebroaden the shoulders. Keep pulling the tips of the elbows down. We've got our last and final one here of the deep squats. So coming through the gentle squat first. Preparing by widening the knees. Pulling the elbow tips down. And now coming down even more, really committing. Getting the thighs parallel to the floor. Pull with the elbow tips to get low, to touch the ground. Now squeeze with your legs, squeeze the outer chest. Roots of the thighs moving back, deepening, squeezing the outer chest with the knees. That's it. 3, inner groins moving back. And 2, good. And 1, coming back out. Uttanasana. Squeeze the kneecaps up, squeeze the front thighs up, squeeze the roots of the thighs up, the inner knee lifting to the inner groin, and 2, and 1. Placing the hands on the mat, holding one last time, gripping with the hands on the outside edge, and stepping back to Ardha Mukha Svanasana with straight legs, heels lifted, toes spread, the front thighs moving back, and the roots of the thighs firm. Pushing ourselves away from the hands. Moving with an exhalation, the armpits to the hips. So with the exhale again, move the armpits to the hips. And then bending the knees and coming back down. Okay, widening the knees apart just a little bit, not too wide, and come forward to Yoga Mudrasana, keeping it dynamic. Now we're going to lift the hips up just a little bit, moving our weight to the left, lifting the right knee up and extending it back behind us, keeping the thigh rolled in, and resting the head down, stretching the arm forward. Take a few breath cycles here. And then coming back in, Yoga Mudrasana Vajrasana. And then lifting the hips up, weight to the right, and extend the left leg back. Dropping the head down, stretching the arms forward. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. And then coming back in, Yoga Mudrasana. Hips up, weight to the left, and extending the right leg back. Keep the back thigh rolling in. And then back up, Yoga Mudrasana. And then hips up, weight to the right, you're getting the hang of it now, and extending the left leg back. Keeping the back thigh rolling in, the arms stretched forward. And then back up, Yoga Mudrasana. Last time, hips up, weight to the left, right leg extending back. And back up, Yoga Mudrasana. Soft, smooth inhales and soft, smooth exhales. And lifting the hips up, weight to the right, and left leg coming back. And coming back up. Last Yoga Mudrasana. Emerging, knees together. Vajrasana. Soft, smooth inhalation. Soft, smooth exhalation. Relax the face. Relax the forehead. Relax the jaw. Okay, now we're going to come and stand up for Virabhadrasanana I. So facing the short edge of your mat, coming into it this way. Right leg forward, left leg back. Make sure that the back foot isn't turned in all the way like this. It wants to be turned out a little bit, but the back thigh wants to roll in. That's what's helping the hips to really face forward. In fact, more than that, to turn to the right. Roots of the thighs firm. Press into the heels. Suck the roots of the thighs up. Lift the pelvic floor up already. And then let's lift the arms. And with the arms lifting even higher, re-lift the pelvic floor up. Open the chest. Keep stretching the arms. Roots of the thighs firm. And now exhale into the pose. Keep lifting the inner arms. Keep lifting the fingertips. Pelvic floor lifting up. Over and over again. Roots of the thighs firm. And then straight legs. Turn the hips again to the right. Re-stretch the arms. Re-engage the pelvic floor up. And exhaling down. Keep lifting. Roots of the thighs firm. Pull the arms up and back. And last time. Lifting up. Turn the hips again to the right. Re-stretch the arms. Pelvic floor lifting. And exhaling down. Keep lifting the arms. Turning the hips to the right. Lift the chin. And 2. And 1. Coming back up. And exhale. And releasing. Back to Tadasana. Have presence in both of the feet. Lengthen the collarbones again. Soft smooth inhale, soft smooth exhale. And now, stepping the left leg forward and the right leg back. Remember to not overturn the foot in, to have it turned out a little bit, but to actively roll that back front thigh in, so that you feel the hips turning and you can encourage them with your hands. Penetrate with the senses and lift the pelvic floor up. Roots of the thighs staying firm, and now extending the arms and lift the arms up vibrantly and feel the pelvic floor lifting even more. Lift all the way up past the fingertips, turning the hips, roots of the thighs firm. Now inhale and exhale, bend the knee. Keep lifting the arms, lifting the pelvic floor, firming the roots of the thighs, pressing into the heels. And back up. Turn the hips to the left. Re-stretch the arms. Get the upper arms behind the ears. Inhale and exhale. Deepening, deepening. Keep stretching the arms, heels firm. Lift the pelvic floor. And back up. Last and final time. Turn the hips to the left. Firm the roots of the thighs. Stretch the arms higher. Lift the pelvic floor. And exhale. Press into the heels. Roots of the thighs. Re-lift the arms. Now lift the chin. And 3, and 2, and 1. Back up. And exhale. And release. Okay, coming to the floor now with a bolster and 2 blocks. Putting our bricks like this. And they are going to support the bolster, giving greater height. If you don't have a bolster, you could just roll up some blankets to give lift, to give support, or take cushions from around the house, looking for something that's lifted to work on for the next pose. So then when that's in place, let me see, I'm a little bit crooked, and I think I'm going to go forward a little bit. There we go. Coming behind your bolster, and we're going to lift our right leg up and over. One hand on each side. Now move the right foot to the center line, so it's in line with the pubic bone. And bring the right heel as close as you can to the bolster. Really bringing it in. Now to come into the pose, we're going to turn the back toes under and move the leg back so we can feel our hips descending. We want the front of the left thigh to have the bolster to press onto, rolling in the front of the thigh. So you can go as high as you need to get that. Keep rolling this back leg in, then rest the back foot on the ground. This foot in front of the pubic bone, so the knee has to open a little bit for us to come down. If we try to keep the knee right in front of that, it's obviously going to block. We want that knee to open a little bit, coming down, pressing the buttocks forward. Keep stretching and rolling the back thigh back. Now making fists with the hands, pressing down in order to lengthen and lift up. The pelvic floor lifting, the side waist lengthening, the chin lifting. Keep deepening the hips and buttocks down. Keep rolling the front of that back thigh in. Keep pressing down into the hands to lift and lengthen the front spine more and more. Rolling the front shoulders back. And 2. And 1. Coming out. And ready for the other side. So left leg up and over. One hand on each side. Move the left foot to the center line. So it's right lined up with the pubic bone. Moving the right leg backwards. Keep rolling it in. You can check the kneecap really wants to be on the floor. And then coming in, moving that left heel back. This front foot wants to go back. We're looking for this particular angle where the calf and the back of the thigh are connecting here. And now letting that left knee open. See how it helps us to drop down, being on the front of the back foot. And we're ready. So using the hands, if you don't like the fists, you can use the fingertips. And press down. Keep the buttocks pressing down too. And lengthen the trunk, lengthen the waist. Lift the pelvic floor. Check when that back front thigh starts to roll out again. Keep rolling it in. Feel the front ribs and the side ribs lifting up off the abdomen. Go with that action. Lift and broaden. Breathing, feeling. Keep deepening the hips, the buttocks down. As we lift up now, roll the front shoulders back. The chin lifted. And 1. Exhale. And coming out. One more time. Right leg over. Hands onto each side. Move the heel so it's in line with the pubic bone and move it back. Really feel the calf and the back of the thigh connecting. Roll that back thigh in. Now move the right knee open a little bit. Get even closer to the bolster, the blanket, whatever it is you're using here. Now using the hands to press down and get that anti-gravitational lift upwards through the front trunk, the pelvic floor lifting. Roots of the thighs firm, even here. Front shoulders rolling back. And exhale. And releasing. Coming back to our neutral zone. One more time on the left-hand side. Left leg over, hands on each side. Move the heel to line up with the pubic bone. Move the heel back. Move the back leg back. Feel that contact between the calf and the back of the thigh. Now let the left knee open. And move the back leg back. Come down even lower with the hips with the buttocks. Hands to the bolster, or fists, or fingertips, whatever you found that you prefer. Or trying new adjustments, seeing what they bring. Pressing down and lifting up. Lifting the pelvic floor. Lifting the belly button. Lifting the inner walls of the sternum. Pressing the back ribs in as we roll the front shoulders back. Keep rolling the back thigh in. Pressing the buttocks down. And exhale. And releasing. That feels really great, doesn't it? Vajrasana. Kapotasanas in Virabhadrasanana. Inhale and lift the arms up. Keep stretching the arms to stretch the waist, to stretch the armpits. Press the front thighs down. And coming halfway down, changing the interlock, turning the palms back out. And inhale, lifting up. And higher. Keep trying to find the heel of the hand, pushing up onto the ceiling action. And exhale, releasing. And coming down. All right, let's move the bolster to the side. And repeat that just on the mat. So right leg forward. You can already move the left knee back. If it hurts the knee, of course, take a support, a little blanket underneath the knee. Now let's move the right foot to the left so it's lined up with the pubic bone instead of being lined up to the right hip. The left leg, however, is lined up with the left hip. Now, let's move the right foot back. So we have this different angle for a normal lunge, and the calf is pressing into the back of the thigh. Okay, bringing the hands onto the inside, open that right knee to the side. Press the hands down, press the buttocks down, lift the pelvic floor, lift the chest. Resting on the top of the back foot. Keep that right heel firmly pressing down. Pressing down, down, down as we lift up. Deepening the groins, the roots of the thighs firm. And exhale, releasing in order to change sides. So left leg forward. Coming to the middle line, the pubic bone. And then making sure that the back leg is lined up with the back hip, the right hip. We're moving our front foot back now. So we have that meshing of the calf and the back of the thigh here. Hands onto the inside. Let this left knee open and come down even more deeply through that opening. And then pressing down in order to lift and lengthen the front spine. Keep the buttocks pressing down. Lift the pelvic floor. Lift the belly button in and up. Broaden and lift the side ribs off the lungs. Keep the roots of the thighs firm. Keep rolling the front shoulders back. And 3, and 2, and 1. Exhaling. Okay, we need to get a blanket now. And we're going to roll the blanket up or fold it. So I like folding it because this edge is the perfect edge for me. But if you think that you might need, we're going to use it underneath our heels, by the way. But if you think you might need more, you can go all the way to this height. So you'll test out and press pause on me and adjust as you need. So the blanket is for our heels. Remember our squat uttanasanas. We're mixing that back in now with some malasanas. Oh, the recorder. Okay, finding Tadasana. The heels are on the blankets. The inner groins rolling back. Lifting the arms. Squatting, bending, sitting back on an imaginary chair, pressing into the inner heels, the inner groins rolling back. Deepening. And now letting the knees fall open and reaching forward. Walking the fingertips forward, getting that length. Keep the inner heels firmly pressing down. The buttocks and hips deepening. Walking the fingertips forward. And then finally dropping the head down, the sides of the neck long and even. And then walking the fingertips back up. Knees together. Reconnect with the heels. Lift the arms. Come up slowly, agonizingly slowly. Roots of the thighs firm, inner groins moving back. And Tadasana. Okay, so if you didn't have enough pressure on your heels, if the blanket was too low, this is a good chance to make it higher. We're coming for our second one. We have 3. Tadasana. Lift the arms. And begin that squatting action. Moving the hips back, the shins back, the roots of the thighs firm. Coming down. Letting the knees open. Stretching forward, fingertips to the floor, lengthening. Little gecko hands bringing us forward here, lengthening, more length. Keep moving the buttocks, the hips towards the ground. Soft, smooth inhales, soft, smooth exhales. And now we're going to squeeze the outer chest with the inner knees. So bring the legs back in and squeeze. And now bring the left hand to the right shin. And get the right hand, the armpit, all the way to the front of the shin. Move further forward. Moving the right hand back. So you've got a traction point there. You can feel the shin and the upper arm pressing against each other. Now keep that traction point and just bend the elbow more and bring the right hand to the left shin. And then get that left arm, armpit, all the way to the front of the shin, even deeper as well. Move the left hand back, now both hands to the floor. Keep using the upper arms to press into the shins, deepening the hips, the buttocks, down to the ground. Soft, smooth inhalations, soft, smooth exhalations. The face relaxed. Keep squeezing the legs in. Pushing into the hands to push the triceps against the shins, squeezing the knees in. And then Coming out, knees together, arms forward. Find the inner heels, press, and slowly, roots of the thighs firm. And Tadasana. Okay, last and final one. So preparing, roll the shoulders back, lengthen the collarbones, relax the face from any effort. Roots of the thighs firm. Inner walls of the sternum plate lifting. Lift the arms. And beginning our descent, moving the shins back, the inner groins moving back, the inner heels firm. Widening the knees, coming forward. Check in with your breath. Keep walking the fingertips forward and grounding the back hips to the ground in the opposite direction. And now we're going to bring the knees back in again, so tightening the legs up to the sides of the chest. And then left hand to the right shin. And that's going to help our right armpit shoulder get in deeper. We move the right hand back and we feel that connection. Pressing, holding that. Keep that Tadasana action, the dialogue between the two, as you just lift the right hand up, hold the left shin, and give the left arm that adjustment too. And then both hands are there. Keep deepening the hips, the buttocks to the ground, deepening the groins. Pushing into the hands in order to activate the triceps, pressing against the shin, moving them back. Head down, soft, smooth inhales, soft, smooth exhales. Keep squeezing the knees in closer and closer. Earthing the hips. Head down, soft, smooth inhales, soft, smooth exhales, penetrate. And now bring the right hand back and hold on to the right heel. Bring the left hand back and hold on to the left heel. Keep the knees squeezing in. Head coming lower. Groins deepening. And then exhale, bringing the fingertips forward, knees together. Find the inner heels, press down. Lift the arms. Slowly pushing up, moving the shins back, inner groins back, roots of the thighs firm. Roots of the thighs firm. And releasing. Tadasana. Okay, keeping our blanket just here. We're just going to do 2 double Virabhadrasanas before we move into Sirsasana. So bringing the left leg as our bottom leg, the shin parallel to the front of the mat. And then lifting the right leg up, going as high as we can, so we're really on the inner knee. You could always take this blanket and roll it up for support as needed. And exhaling forward, Yoga Mudrasana. Soft, smooth inhales and soft, smooth exhalations. Keep the hips grounded, the buttocks grounded as we come forward. The shoulders broad so that the sides of the neck aren't getting shorter. Walking the hands forward, trying to get those ribs over the barrier of the calves and the shins. Grounding the hips back down. Soft, smooth inhalations. Soft, pacifying exhalations. And then coming back up. And changing sides. Right leg underneath, the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. Left leg as high as possible on top of the inner knee and taking whatever support might be needed. And then exhaling forward to Yoga Mudrasana. Regulating the breath. Keep walking the fingertips forward. The arms are vibrant. Grounding the hips and the buttocks backwards to the earth. The belly button lightly lifting towards the lower back as we continue to walk the fingertips forward. Soft, smooth inhalations. Soft, smooth exhalations. And then coming back up. And releasing. Okay, time for Sirsasana. So, taking a blanket, if you want to use the wall, you could use the wall as well. And let's come and enter Sirsasana. So we're doing Sirsasana one hands, but our legs are just right from the get-go going to be a little bit different. When we come up, we're going to essentially come up like this in our Sirsasana. So the right knee will be bent, the calf and the thigh touching as much as possible, and the left leg lifted to the sky. And then we'll come down, change sides, and then our third and final variation will be to come up with bent knees, calves and thighs connecting, and then we'll straighten the hips. In other words, we'll bring the kneecaps to the sky, but the knees will stay bent. So we'll be doing a Virabhadrasanana in Sirsasana. All right, here we go. Bringing the crown of the head to the floor. Straightening the legs. Moving the shoulder blades to the hips. Walking the feet in. Bending the right leg. The calf and the back of the thigh connecting. And now pressing into the forearms, lifting the trapezius muscles, and lifting the left leg to the sky. Pushing up through the length of that left leg out through the ball of the foot. Shoulder blades to the hips, bend that right knee lower. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back down. And releasing. Changing sides. Crown of the head to the floor. Straightening the legs. Moving the shoulder blades to the hips. Walking the feet in. Bending the left leg. Calf rubbing against the back of the thigh. Lift the trapezius muscles as you press down into the forearms. And lifting the right leg up. Shoulder blades going to the hips. Charge the right leg. Keep bending that left knee. And 3, and 2, and 1. Lowering the right leg. And releasing. And again on the other side. Coming in, straightening the legs, walking the feet closer, engaging the upper back. Bending the right knee. And lifting. The left leg straight, lifting to the sky. The right knee bent. Keep pushing out through the ball of the foot of the left foot. Deepening that right knee. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back down. And releasing. And the other side. Here we go. The left knee bending. And lifting with the right leg. Charging up. 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back down. And Virabhadrasanana. One more time on each side. Straightening the legs, walking the feet in, right knee bending. And lifting. And 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back down. Take a breath. Last time, last side. Coming forward. Straightening the legs. Feet coming in. Left leg bending. And lifting. And slowly lowering down and releasing. Okay, we can feel some heat building up here, hopefully. All right, our last variation with both knees bent, coming up, and then straightening the hip flexor so the kneecaps face the sky and the heels are close to the buttock in a Virasana in Sirsasana. 3 times. Bending the legs. Calves and thighs rubbing against each other. And then go ahead and bring the kneecaps towards the sky. Finding Virasana in Sirsasana. Shoulder blades moving towards the hips. Middle buttocks moving forward, front thighs moving back. And now keeping the knees bent, bring the knees towards you again. And then coming down. Yoga Mudrasana, Vajrasana. And our second one. Walking the feet closer. And then bending the knees. Keeping the calves and thighs connected as we unfold the legs so that the kneecaps face the sky. Lift the trapezius muscles. Keep the middle buttocks firm and pressing forward, the inner groins moving back. The femur bone pressing back, the front thighs pressing to the femur bone. And now bringing the knees back towards the face and feet to the floor. Yoga Mudrasana in Vajrasana. And last and final one. Make sure the elbows aren't getting wide. Coming in, straightening the legs and walking the feet closer. Shoulder blades to the hips. Bending the knees. And now bring the kneecaps to face the sky. Virasana in Sirsasana. Back ribs pressing in. Keep lifting the shoulder blades. Moving the middle buttocks forward. Moving the front thighs back. And then bringing the knees back down. Feet to the ground. Yoga Mudrasana in Vajrasana. Soft, smooth inhalations. Soft, smooth exhalations. And then coming back up. And it's now time for a light Sarvangasana. So let's take some more blankets, just a little bit more height here, and a strap, and anything else that you might need to make Sarvangasana right for you. Sometimes it's nice to have a bolster here, just lift the hips and helps us to tap into that lift and make it ours. Let's see what's happened to my strap. Making sure that the strap, once it's on, is going to keep your arms parallel behind the back. And then coming in. Checking that we're no closer than 3 fingers to the edge of the top blanket. Lifting the legs up and finding Halasana. Just a relaxed Halasana. The knees can be bent, you can spread the feet apart, reaching with the hands and taking hold of the strap and finding the loop. Threading the arms through. Preparing the shoulders by interlocking the fingers and rolling each front shoulder back so the collarbones lengthen and the back armpits move to the front armpits as we press the arms down. The hips lift up. Bending the elbows now and bringing the hands to the back. And now bringing the feet together. Moving the hips back, bending the knees, the calves and the back thighs rubbing, And now we're going to begin to unfold the legs, keeping the knees bent. So Virasana in Sarvangasana. Try to move the buttocks forward and the front thighs back. Over and over again. Try to get the heels closer to the buttock. And now straightening the legs and finally Sarvangasana. Soften the face, soften the front throat. And allow the chin to come towards the chest and the back hands to press forward so that the chest is also moving towards the chin. Roots of the thighs firm. Now keep the left leg extended where it is and bend the right leg, finding Ardha Virasana. And now bringing that bent right leg towards you and opening the knee a little bit to the right to deepen. Soft, smooth inhalations and exhalations. And then keeping the knee bent, unfolding the leg back into Ardha Virasana. And back up to Sarvangasana. Keeping the right leg where it is, bend the left leg so the kneecap is facing the sky. Ardha Virasana. Middle buttocks pushing forward. And now bringing that left knee towards you, towards the face. And letting the left knee move to the side. Keep charging the right leg up. And now back to Ardha Virasana with the left leg. And back to Sarvangasana. And again, bending the right knee, Ardha Virasana. Bringing the leg closer, widening the knee to the right. And back up to Ardha Virasana. And Sarvangasana. Left knee, Ardha Virasana. And bending the knee down, moving that bent left leg a little bit to the left to deepen. And back up to Ardha Virasana. And Sarvangasana. Last time. Ardha Virasana with the right leg. And bringing that right leg down to a lunge, opening the knee to the right, deepening, charging the left leg up. Back through Ardha Virasana. And Sarvangasana. Last time. Left leg, Ardha Virasana. And bringing the leg closer into a lunge, letting it move to the left to deepen. Charging the right leg up. And Ardha Virasana. and Sarvangasana. And now bending both legs to Virasana. And then both legs coming down. And straightening the legs to find Malasana. Straighten the arms, interlock the fingers together, and re-roll the shoulders back. Press the arms down. How can we get more length from the right armpit to the outer right hip, from the left armpit to the left outer hip? Keep pressing the back ribs in so that the chest is moving towards the chin. And now changing the interlock of the fingers behind the back. Re-rolling each front shoulder back. And how can we get more length from the right armpit to the right outer hip, and from the left armpit to the left outer hip? The inner groins rolling back. And then lightly bending the knees, bending the elbows, and taking the strap off the arm. Now, bending the knees to the forehead, widening the knees apart, bringing the knees closer and closer to the sides of the ears and to the shoulders, being on the front feet. Kapotasanas. Bring the arms behind the backs of the knees, hold on to the elbows, and squeeze the inner knees towards the outer ears. And since we're upside down, the sky now becomes the ground, if we want it to, and we do for the feeling of what the hips and buttocks are doing. They're grounding up to the sky. So they're lifting up. And now changing the cross of the arms. See if you can lift the buttocks even higher up to the sky. With the hands on the elbow tips, gently pull the elbow tips towards the calf, towards the heel. The shoulder blades still moving down the back towards the hips. And then releasing the arms. Hands back to the side, slowly, gently unrolling. Bending the legs so the calves are rubbing the backs of the thighs, feet to the floor, and push into the feet to move back. Widen the feet apart, just the width of the mat, and then rest the inner knees against each other. So we're in a natural, gentle, supported Sirsasana Sarvangasana here, where the hips are lifted, the shoulders rolling back, the chest is open. The lower back is released, the abdomen is pooling towards the lower back. Ujjayi, one breath. And now, rolling over to the right hand side, coming up. And it's finally time for Shavasana. So let's utilize our equipment here. One blanket for the neck and head. If you have a bolster, you could put that underneath your knees. I'm going to go with using the weight of the blankets on my front thighs. We could use the strap around our feet so that we can really, let me move these so you can see, roll the thighs open. Do the same with the calves and see how the feet have opened even more. And the strap is just going to relax them. They won't have to strain to stay open. Coming down. At the halfway down point, pressing into the elbows to lift the buttocks up and moving, tilting the pelvis so that when we lie down, we recreate that natural Setu Bandha action that we just had on the blankets, where the lower back is releasing to the ground and the abdominal cavity is pooling downwards. So it's making a dip and it's receding to the lower back. Okay, so now these blankets. Front shoulders rolling back. Trapezius muscles and shoulder blades moving down the back towards the hips. Extending the arms and then closing the eyes and entering our Shavasana. And then bending the elbows and just bringing the hands to rest on the front hip bones, on the top pubic bone area. The eyelids fluttering open. And let's roll over to the right, take our feet out of the strap. We're just going to end with our loving kindness prayer. Sukhasana. Placing the hands together. Loka samastaha sukhinho bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And the hands coming back down, the eyelids opening back up. Welcome back. Our practice is complete. I hope you enjoyed this work. I hope your minds feel clear of fluctuations. Namaste.